Hi friends, let us start a new topic, global warming and climate change. Now, this is very important as it is based on contemporary issues happening. You can expect 2 to 3 questions in your service commission examination. Now, let us focus on the basics and then we will go deep down. Let us start with the basic definition of climate change. Now, what it is? It is a long term change in statistical distribution of weather patterns over periods of time that range from decades to millions of years. Now, this is the basic definition. Now, I'll crux down the point, right? It is a long term change in statistical distribution of weather patterns over period of time that range from decades to millions of years. Now, this is the crux point, right? Now, this change may be in average weather conditions or a change in distribution of weather events. Now, this climate change can be a change in weather conditions, can be a change in average weather conditions. I'm writing down the crux points only, right? Or it may be a change in distribution of weather events. Distribution of weather events. Now, we have seen the basic definition. Now, why this climate change happens? It may be due to natural causes which we cannot do anything, but due to human inducing factors. What are those human inducing factors? For example, due to your domestic and industrial coal burning and your fossil fuels burning, the concentration of radiative gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen dioxide, and chlorofluorocarbons are increasing in your lower atmosphere, right? CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, are increasing in the lower atmosphere. Now, which is a major factor for climate change, right? Now, where this gases will be increasing in lower atmosphere means troposphere. By this time, you have to be clear on the basics because in ecology we have dealt all these things, right? Now, these are human inducing factors. Now, what are the signs and effects of climate change? Now, what are the signs of climate change? Higher temperature, am I right? One basic thing. Less snowpack, yes. More droughts, yes. This is a sign of climate change. Now, once in your service commission examination, a question was asked. Among these, what are the signs of climate change? Now, higher temperature, less snowpack, more droughts, everybody can easily identify this. Now, the point is thawing permafrost. Thawing is a sign of climate change. Now, what is this thawing permafrost? Any idea of this? Thawing permafrost, right? FROST. Sorry. Thawing permafrost. Frost. Now this is nothing but melting of thick layer of ice due to change in climate. Melting of, I'll write down the point. Melting of thick layer of ice is called thawing permafrost. This is once asked in a commission examination. Right now, what are the effects? Now, on what it will affect? Your agriculture will be affected, your energy recreation will be affected, and your forest will be affected, water supplies will be affected, all your biotic factors will be affected. We have discussed in the ecology. Right now, already we have discussed about the definitions of weather and climate in ecology. Our first video itself gives you the basic definitions of this. So again, I will not repeat it. Right, you go through that video and come to this, then you can understand it very clearly. Right, weather, climate. Now what is climate? Average weather of an area, which includes atmospheric conditions, seasonal variations, weather extremes averaged over a long period of time, and that is called climate. Right? Then, now let us see the next concept, very important concept, which is called greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect. Now observe here, this human inducing factors are also called as anthropogenic causes. Right, anthropogenic causes or human inducing factors are same, so I'll write here, right, anthropogenic factors. Climate change happening due to humans. Right, in this first concept what we will deal is greenhouse effect. Now what is this greenhouse effect? Now I'll summarize this. Greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the earth surface. Right, now this is a natural process that warms the earth surface. Now how it happens? Now when the sun's energy reaches the earth's atmosphere, some of it is reflected back to space and the rest is reabsorbed and re-radiated by greenhouse gases. Now this absorbed energy by the greenhouse gases, absorbed energy by greenhouse gases warms the atmosphere and surface of the earth. Now this is the crux of greenhouse effect. Now what is greenhouse? Do you have any idea of this greenhouse? Why this name came here? Now, greenhouse is a building made of glass that allows sunlight to enter but traps the heat inside. So, the building stays warm even the it is cold outside. Right? Now, greenhouse is a building made up of glass that allows sunlight to enter and the heat is trapped inside, so the building is warm even it is cold outside. Now this is called greenhouse gas. So the same pattern is being observed in our earth surface also, so the phenomenon is called greenhouse effect, and that is why it is called greenhouse effect. Now see here, I will explain this greenhouse effect in a pictorial representation. Right, now this is earth surface. Right, now surrounding this is atmosphere. So for an illustrative explanation, right, let us consider this is atmosphere. Right. Now from sun, in the form of short wave radiations, the energy is released upon to the earth. Short wave radiation by sun rays, right? Let us go with clear explanation. Short wave radiations, right? Now this is called your solar radiations. Now see here, due to increase in your greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, greenhouse gases. Now we'll discuss about greenhouse gases in detail later. Likewise, your carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, all these are greenhouse gases. What happens initially due to greenhouse effect? Some of the energy will be absorbed and some will be taken back into the space. Now, when these greenhouse gases are increased or in increased concentration in the atmosphere, more energy will be absorbed by these greenhouse gases, right? Now see here, energy will be trapped down by these greenhouse gases. Now see here, what is the energy that will be going on into the space, which will be long wave radiation. After absorption, re-radiation, some of the energy will be thrown back into the space in the form of long wave radiation. Now see here, due to this, your earth atmosphere will be, your earth atmospheric temperature will be increased, right? Now this is called your greenhouse gas theory. Greenhouse gas theory. Done. Now the primary causes for the greenhouse gases increasing is burning of fuel, industrialization, deforestation, urbanization, right, and vehicular pollution. All these are the reasons for the increase in greenhouse gases, right? You got the point now? Yes. Now let us discuss about this greenhouse gases in detail. Now, what are the nature of these greenhouse gases and why they trap the radiation? Now, greenhouse gases are made up of two are made of three or more atoms, right? Made of three or more atoms. Now, these greenhouse gases are made up of three or more atoms. Now, due to this molecular structure, it is very feasible for them to trap heat in atmosphere and re-emit into the surface. Now, due to this molecular structure, these greenhouse gases can absorb more energy and make your earth surface more warm, right? Now, who introduced this word greenhouse gases first? Joseph Fourier. Joseph Fourier first gave this word greenhouse gases, right? Now the increased amounts of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is the main cause for affecting your global climate. And now this phenomenon, now see here, due to increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, your global climate is affected, and now this phenomenon is recognized as global climate change. Global climate change. Now see here, I am giving more and more number of points. Focus on this, right? Done. Now let us see the sequence of greenhouse gases according to their harmful effect. according to their harmful effect. I will write down the sequence of gases. Now, the first important, most dangerous is carbon dioxide, and the next one is methane, and the next one is nitrogen dioxide, I mean N2O, nitrous oxide, sorry, and the next one is chlorofluorocarbons. Now, according to the harmful effect, the greenhouse gases were given this rating. Now see here, for each greenhouse gas, a global warming potential has been calculated. Right? For each greenhouse gas, they are given with global warming potential. Now, how this global warming potential is given? Now, this has been calculated to reflect how long it remains in the atmosphere on average. Right? Now, this global warming potential is calculated based on 2 points. The one is how long these gases will be in the atmosphere, and next one, how strongly these gases absorbs energy. Based on this, global warming potential is calculated. How strongly gases absorbs energy. These are the 2 points that are taken under the control. Now, let us discuss in detail regarding this global warming potential. Now, global warming potential, I'll give the definition. Global warming potential for a gas is a measure of total energy that a gas absorbs over a particular period of time, usually 100 years, and it is compared to carbon dioxide. Now see here, I will write down the definition here clearly. Is a measure of total energy that a gas absorbs over a particular period of time, now usually you consider as 100 years, compared to carbon dioxide. Now this is called global warming potential. See here, now this is the exact definition. Total energy that a gas absorbs over a particular period of time compared to carbon dioxide. Now see here, gases with higher global warming potential absorbs more energy per pound than the gases with lower global warming potential, and thus contributing more to the earth. Right? Now, and these are the ranges of global warming potential. Done. Now, let us discuss about types of greenhouse gases in detail. Next concept what we will see is types of greenhouse gases. Now, already we have discussed about this. I mean, in general, what are the types of, what are the greenhouse gases, not about the types. Now, there are basically two types of greenhouse gases. One are controlled and the other one are uncontrolled. Right? The one type is controlled and the other type of greenhouse gases are uncontrolled. Right? Now, controlled greenhouse gases, what are the examples? Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, nitrous oxide N2O, chlorofluorocarbons, sulfur hexachloride SF6. Now, what are uncontrolled? Water vapor, uncontrolled greenhouse gases, water vapor and ozone comes under uncontrolled greenhouse gases. Right. Now, see here in the topic called environmental degradation and pollution, we have seen about these gases and their effects on human health. Now, let us see the particulate matter content in the atmosphere and how much ppm will be there in the atmosphere about these gases. Now, excessive increase in concentration of these greenhouse gases in the atmosphere would retain more and more infrared radiation. I mean, they absorb more and more radiation, resulting in enhanced greenhouse effect, common cause that everybody know. Now, let us discuss about this controlled greenhouse gases and how it affects the atmosphere. Right? Now, see here, the first one we will discuss about is carbon dioxide. Now, I'll give the crux points, right? General points, I will eliminate it because we have discussed this in pollution also. Now, this is the most abundant greenhouse gas in the atmosphere that we have discussed. Now, see here, the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has increased from pre-industrial level. Now, pre-industrial level, sometimes these are very important. Once it was asked in your examination. Pre-industrial level, your carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere is 280 ppm. ppm means parts per million. Parts per million. And now see here, after industrialization, now in 2017, it was 407 ppm in the atmosphere, it seems. Now, why it is increased? It is due to largely deforestation, fossil fuel burning, and change in land use. Now, one most important point that you have to know in this carbon dioxide is the response of plant to elevated concentrations of carbon dioxide is known as carbon dioxide fertilization effect. Now, see here, you have to know about this carbon dioxide fertilization effect. Now, what is this carbon dioxide fertilization effect? Already I have discussed this. The response of plant to elevated concentrations of carbon dioxide is known as carbon dioxide fertilization effect. Now, why it is this? Now, this measurements have shown, this effect have shown that atmospheric carbon dioxide has been rapidly rising. Now, if this trend continues, now the levels of carbon dioxide may increase up to 540 to 970 at the end of 21st century, it seems. Now, see here, this is once asked in the service commission. What is carbon dioxide fertilization effect? Response of plants to elevated concentrations of carbon dioxide is known as carbon dioxide fertilization effect. Now, see here, why? So, see here, what happens due to this effect? Due to this increased availability of carbon dioxide concentration, the rate of photosynthesis will be increased and stomatal conductance will decrease, right? Your stomatal of plants, conductance of plants. Now see here, if plants work more, automatically what happens? The related tissues, cells will be affected. I mean, they will wear and tear out. Am I right or wrong? This is called decrease in stomatal conductance. Then one more important point. Now, next one we will discuss is about methane. Now see here, methane concentration in the present atmosphere has been doubled. If in the from the pre-industrialization level, it seems. Now why it was doubled? See here, this methane will be released mostly due to incomplete decomposition by a group of bacteria called methogens, right? This methane will be released due to incomplete decomposition and is produced by a group of bacteria called methogens. Now see here, when the organic matter is not completely decomposed, your methane concentrations will be increased. Now see here, one more. In 2004, in 2014, once it was asked in Service Commission examination, what are the causes for increase in methane concentration? One more, already you know about this decomposition. All the things are generally known since your primary school standards. And belching of ruminants. This is the option given there. Belching of ruminants. Now, what is belching of ruminants? Right? Now see here, ruminants is nothing but your cattle. Now, the gas that came out from their mouth is nothing but belching. When they are eating, upon grinding their teeth, methane gas will be released from their mouth, and that is called belching of ruminants. Right? Done. Enough. This is enough. Next one. Let us discuss in detail regarding this chlorofluorocarbons. We have not discussed about this in environmental pollution also. Chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Now what are the CFCs? Now these chlorofluorocarbons are non-toxic and they are non-inflammable. Now these are the main points, you have to remember this. These are non-toxic and non-inflammable. Now see, being non-toxic and non-inflammable, why they are affecting this rise in temperature? Right? Now see here, these are synthetic stable gaseous compounds of carbons and halogens. The term itself says they are synthetic compounds of carbon plus halogens. Halogens means bromine, fluorine, chlorine. All these are halogens here, group 7 elements. Right? Now major sources of this chlorofluorocarbons are leaking from air conditioners. Now see here, due to usage of excessive air conditioners, your chlorofluorocarbons will be increased. Right? And refrigeration units, everybody know it. And also from aerosols, propellants, aerosols, your sprays, what you use, chlorofluorocarbons are used. And also from flight exhaust, flight fuels exhaust, your ATF, aviation turbine fuels, chlorofluorocarbons will be increased. Right? Now see here, this chlorofluorocarbons can persist up to from 45 to 260 years in the atmosphere, right? These does not degrade that much easily. That's why they are very toxic to the, I mean, not harmful to the atmosphere, right? Now, what is the share of global warming content of this chlorofluorocarbons? It is 20%, it seems, right? Now, methane is 14%. Now, carbon dioxide is 60%. They contribute for the global increase in at global warming, right? Now, in this chlorofluorocarbon, the first one what we will discuss is hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs. Now, what are these HFCs? Now, these are the chemicals that are released from air conditioners, and they are non-inflammable, non-toxic, right? And see here, these HFCs are better than CFCs. So, most of the companies are fixing HFCs than CFCs because they are somewhat helpful to the atmosphere than chlorofluorocarbons, right? Due to this, your global change impact, climate change impact is reduced, right? So the next one what we will discuss is nitrous oxide, N2O. Now this, where this nitrous oxide is produced? This nitrous oxide is produced by nylon production, due to nylon production. Now what happens this, and also during burning of nitrogen fuels, right? And in nitrogen rich fertilizers, already you know about this. Now this nitrogen oxide contribution to global warming is 6%. Now let us discuss the remaining things in the next video. Thank you.